Hello, my darling. This is Louise. I'm so glad you're here. Truly, I believe you did not press play by accident. I believe life brought you here because your soul whispered, "It's time. Time to return to yourself. Time to remember who you truly are, beneath the noise, beneath the masks, beneath the expectations the world placed upon you." For just a moment, I want you to set everything else aside, the shoulds, the worries, the questions, and allow yourself to be fully present with me. Take a slow breath in and feel the tenderness of this moment. You are safe here. You belong here. And for the next 30 days, I want you to come back to these words again and again, not because you are broken, but because you are powerful and deserving of nourishment. When you repeat healing, you become healing. When you repeat love, you become love. When you repeat peace, you become peace. Let these words be the loving voice inside you, not just today, but every day. So many beautiful souls come to me and say, "Louise, I feel like I've lost myself. I don't know who I am anymore." And I always smile gently and say, "You never lose yourself. You only lose what was never truly you." You see, my darling, every layer that falls away, every habit, every false role, every old identity, all of it falls because your soul is growing bigger than the container it once accepted. The version of you that could survive the past is not the version who will thrive in the future. So yes, the shedding can feel scary. It can feel like chaos. It can feel like everything is falling apart. But what if it's not falling apart? What if it's falling into place? Everything you release creates space for something better. Say that softly inside. Everything I release creates space for something better. This is not the end of you. It is the unveiling of you. Pain often arrives like an unexpected storm. It disrupts, it shakes, it breaks open what you thought was solid. But pain is never here to punish you. Pain is a messenger. Pain says, "My darling, this chapter has served its purpose. You can set it down now." The more you resist change, the more suffering continues. But the moment you listen to what hurts, not to dwell, but to understand something powerful happens, you awaken. Pain is a signal that you are being invited into a higher version of yourself. Think of the seed underground. It must break open, burst apart, and push through darkness before it ever sees the sun. Growth is uncomfortable, but discomfort is proof that you are evolving. So place your hand on your heart right now. Yes, feel the warmth and whisper, "Show me what is ready to grow." Your heart has always known the way home. There is something else I want you to remember. You are not your wounds. You are the strength that carried you through your wounds. You are not what happened to you. You are what you made out of it. The world may have labeled you by your struggles, the one who was hurt, the one who was abandoned, the one who was rejected. But my love, you are not the story of your pain. You are the author who survived to write a new ending. I know that deep inside you, there is a part that has never been harmed, never been shamed, never been wrong. That part of you, the real you, is still whole, still radiant, still ready to shine. So gently affirm, "I am not my past. I am my power. Notice how your body responds to those words. Notice how your spine straightens just a bit. Truth always feels like alignment. Now let's talk about your thoughts, because the mind can be a tricky storyteller. Just because a thought appears does not mean it is a prophecy. Some thoughts are echoes from old fears. Some thoughts are leftovers from voices that never knew your worth. Some thoughts are simply misunderstandings the mind made when you were young. There are two voices inside you, the voice of fear and the voice of truth. Fear is loud. Fear is urgent. Fear says, "You're not enough. You're alone. You're failing. You will never figure it out." But truth speaks softly. Truth says, "You are growing. You are supported. You are allowed to change direction. You are becoming who you're meant to be." So when thoughts rise, ask yourself, does this voice love me? If not, it is not truth. You deserve to listen to the voice that lifts you higher. You may feel like you don't recognize yourself anymore, and that's okay. Recognition comes later. First comes release. Letting go can feel like loss, but it is actually liberation. The caterpillar dissolves completely into something unrecognizable before it becomes a butterfly. What looks like falling apart is transformation in disguise. What feels like confusion is clarity rearranging itself inside you. Maybe the reason life feels unfamiliar is because you are no longer choosing in ways that sabotage you. Maybe you don't recognize yourself because you are finally meeting the one who was always buried beneath approval, perfectionism, and fear. What a beautiful reunion that will be. Take another deep breath with me and soften those shoulders. You carry so much. Release the need to rush your process. Healing is not a race. Self-discovery is not a deadline. You are not behind. You are right on divine time. Everything you need to know will reveal itself when you are ready to know it. For now, your only job is willingness. Willingness to be curious. Willingness to listen inside. Willingness to grow gently. Every tiny moment of self-compassion rewires your future. You don't have to leap, you only have to lean in. Let's affirm a new truth together. I am not lost. I am becoming. Feel the relief in that. Feel how permission returns to your body. Feel how possibility opens like a window in a stuffy room. You are becoming someone who chooses peace instead of perfection. Someone who chooses alignment instead of approval. Someone who chooses authenticity instead of fitting in. The world does not need the false version of you. The world needs the true you, the one who knows how to love, the one who knows how to feel, the one who knows how to rise. Repeat after me with kindness. I am not my fears. I am my courage. I am not what I lost. I am what I found within myself. Everything I release creates space for something better. You are stepping into a new identity, one that feels like home. And if you stay with me for these 30 days, listening not with judgment, but with openness, you will feel the shift begin. You will feel yourself returning to your center. You will feel relief, clarity, confidence, and joy, becoming more familiar than struggle and self-doubt. So here is my invitation for today. Be gentle with your becoming. Be patient with your process, and trust that you are exactly where you are meant to be, not lost, but in transition, not broken, but breaking open, not confused, but clearing space for truth. Take one last deep breath. Place your hand on your heart once more and say softly, I choose to listen to the voice that loves me. This is your new beginning, and I will be here with you every step of the way. Well, let us continue with this beautiful idea, my darling. You do not have to constantly be striving to become someone in order to be worthy of love, of rest, of peace. So many people believe that their value only exists in the future, that they must earn their right to feel good, that happiness must be postponed, that peace must wait until everything is better. But what if the greatest healing happens when you stop trying so hard? What if your soul is asking you to slow down, not speed up? You do not have to rush your growth. You do not have to prove your transformation. You do not have to constantly improve, fix, achieve, produce, or hustle to be worthy of love in this moment. Life does not require your perfection, it only asks for your presence. Let this truth soften you. The flowers do not strain to bloom. The moon does not apologize for taking its time to become full. Trees are still beautiful even when they are bare. Why should you be any different? You are allowed to be a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. Take a breath with me and give yourself permission to rest in who you are right now, not who you think you must become tomorrow. We have been taught to chase approval, to chase success, to chase some version of ourselves that we believe will finally deserve love. But when will you allow yourself to arrive? When will you believe that this moment is enough? Rest is also transformation. Stillness is also movement. The soul requires rest the way the body requires oxygen. Without it, you cannot hear the guidance that has been trying to speak to you. And this guidance says, you are good, you are loved, you are allowed to pause, you are allowed to simply be. Imagine how your life might shift if you stopped striving and started allowing. Imagine if instead of forcing change, you trusted that you are already changing. Imagine if instead of criticizing your pace, you celebrated your persistence. You are not behind. You are unfolding perfectly. Everything is happening at the speed of grace. Say with me softly, I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to stop rushing. I am enough in this very moment. Notice how those words begin to melt the tension inside you. Notice how your body responds when you tell yourself the truth. You do not need to earn rest. You do not need to earn joy. You do not need to earn the right to breathe freely. You already deserve all of it simply because you exist. Give yourself permission to put the heavy burden of becoming down for a moment. Lean into the comfort of being. Let life love you even while you are still growing, especially while you are still growing. Now, let us turn towards something else your soul has been longing to hear. There are roles you once played that kept you safe. The pleaser, the fixer, the one who never complains, the one who makes everyone else comfortable. Those roles helped you survive environments where love had conditions, but you are not living in that world anymore. You no longer need to shrink to be accepted. You no longer need to silence your needs to keep the peace. You no longer need to perform a version of yourself that hides your truth. You do not have to wear costumes to be worthy. You don't have to be the strong one all the time. You don't have to be the agreeable one. You don't have to be the one who holds everything together. You can lay those roles down now. And notice the relief in your body as you consider that possibility. So many of the identities we cling to are simply old agreements we never stopped renewing. I must be perfect to be loved. I must be useful to be valued. I must be pleasant to be accepted. I must accomplish to be enough. But what if those statements were never true? What if they were just beliefs borrowed from other wounded people who did not know their worth either? My darling, one of the bravest things you will ever do is tell the truth about who you are, not for validation, but for liberation. Your authenticity is your freedom. When you let the mask fall, when you stop performing, when you allow yourself to take up space as your truest self, something miraculous happens. You begin to breathe again. You begin to feel again. You begin to live again. Ask yourself gently, who am I when I am not trying to impress anyone? Who am I when I am not afraid of being judged? Who am I when I am alone with my heart? That is the real you, the one who has desires, boundaries, opinions, dreams, the one who feels deeply, the one who loves passionately, the one who is here for a reason. It is time to honor that version of you. It is time to stop performing a role that was written by your fear and start living a life that is guided by your truth. Let this affirmation support you. I release the need to prove myself. I am already worthy. Say it again if you'd like. Let the words become a new rhythm in your mind. Let them clear away the old lies. You do not have to justify your existence. You do not have to earn your space in this world. You get to show up as you are, messy, evolving, learning, healing, and still be deserving of love. Think of all the years you spent bending yourself into shapes that did not fit, molding yourself into versions that pleased everyone but you. Think of the exhaustion of carrying identities that weighed more than your spirit could bear. And now imagine setting them down, one by one. Imagine stepping out of the costumes and into your soul. That is what this season of your life is about, peeling away everything that isn't you, so that what remains is the most beautiful truth you've ever known. You were enough before the world told you to become more. You may feel afraid to show your real self. That fear is not a stop sign, it is simply a sign that you are entering new territory. Courage does not mean the absence of fear. Courage means you walk forward anyway, guided by love rather than approval. You may lose people along the way. Those who only loved your performance will not know what to do with your truth. Let them go with love. Who leaves when you are finally yourself was never truly there. And who stays? Those who see you, those who celebrate you, those who feel safe when you are real. What a gift it is to be loved for who you actually are. So today, give yourself permission to stop trying to be who the world tells you to be. Give yourself permission to stop chasing worthiness that is already inside you. Give yourself permission to rest from the performance of perfection. You are allowed to simply be. You are allowed to exist without explanation. You are allowed to honor your own needs first. And as you do, you will notice something miraculous. The more you return to yourself, the more life returns to you. Say once more, with a hand on your heart, I release the roles that were built on fear. I choose the life that is built on truth. You are becoming free, my darling, free to love, free to breathe, free to be. There comes a moment in every healing journey when you realize that no one else can choose your life for you. People may have expectations, they may have opinions, they may project their own fears onto your dreams, but only you live inside your heart. Only you know what you long for when the world is quiet. Only you can decide what kind of life feels like home to your soul. So I want you to begin choosing yourself every single day, not once in a while, not only when things are going well, not only when others approve. Every morning, before you step into the world, whisper these words like a promise. I choose me. Let that be your new beginning each day, because when you choose yourself, you are telling life, I am ready to be supported, and life listens. You see, so many of us wait for permission. We wait for someone else to say we are good enough. We wait for the perfect moment to begin. We wait for certainty, but confidence does not come before action. Confidence comes from choosing yourself even when you are scared. Choosing yourself is a sacred declaration that you matter. It is looking in the mirror and saying, my needs matter, my joy matters, my healing matters. You stop abandoning yourself to please the world. You stop betraying your heart to be accepted. You stop shrinking to make others comfortable. When you choose yourself, you reclaim your life. Let me ask you a gentle question. How often do you wake up and ask yourself what you need? Not what others expect, not what will avoid conflict, but what you, your precious heart, actually need to feel nourished, safe, and alive today. I want you to begin each morning with a simple check-in. What would make me feel cared for right now? It might be slow breathing instead of rushing. It might be saying no instead of automatically saying yes. It might be taking a quiet walk instead of scrolling through distractions. It might be allowing yourself to rest without guilt. Choosing yourself is not selfish, it is self-respect. There is a version of you who is more peaceful, a version of you who is kinder to yourself, a version of you who wakes up excited to be alive. When you choose yourself daily, you become that version over time. You shape your reality not by waiting for change, but by choosing change. Saying, I choose me, is not about rejecting anyone else. It is about refusing to reject yourself. And now, let's move into something equally important. Loving who you are becoming. You are evolving. Even on days when you feel stuck, you are shedding old stories that once felt like your identity. You are releasing habits that no longer protect you. You are learning new ways to speak to yourself. Growth is not always loud. Sometimes the biggest shifts are happening quietly inside your soul. You are not meant to stay the same forever. Change is a sign of life. The caterpillar cannot remain a caterpillar and still learn to fly. The seed cannot stay underground and still feel the sun. The wave cannot freeze in place and still move with the ocean. And you cannot hold on to who you used to be and still become who you are meant to be. Let life transform you. Let yourself outgrow what once felt comfortable but now feels too small. You are meant to expand. Many people fear change because it feels like loss. They cling to what is familiar even when it hurts because uncertainty feels frightening. But what if losing parts of yourself is not failure, but freedom? What if letting go is not the end, but the opening to the next beautiful chapter? What if the transformation you fear is the transformation your soul begged for? You are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to dream new dreams. You are allowed to love new things. You are allowed to walk away from what once felt right but no longer does. Growth is not betrayal. Growth is loyalty to your inner truth. Take a moment and reflect. Who are you becoming? Are you becoming softer with yourself? Are you becoming wiser from your lessons? Are you becoming braver in your boundaries? Are you becoming more honest with what you feel? Celebrate that. Your evolution is beautiful. And here's something gentle to remember. The old version of you was not wrong. She was necessary. She carried you until you were strong enough to carry yourself. She protected you when you didn't know how to protect your heart. She survived what should have broken you. Honor her, thank her, but do not let her hold you back. It is safe to keep becoming. Let us release the judgment around change. You don't need to apologize because you're growing. You don't need to explain why your dreams have shifted. You don't need anyone's approval to follow what feels right in your heart. You are the one who must live with yourself. Make her proud. Say these words with me softly and slowly. I allow myself to evolve beautifully. Yes, beautifully. Not perfectly, not quickly, not according to anyone else's timeline. You evolve beautifully when you evolve honestly, following the whispers inside you that say, there is more. Your transformation is not a warning sign, it is a welcome sign. It means your soul is alive and awake. It means life is preparing new joy, new purpose, new love for you. Doors will close not to block you, but to direct you towards something better. People may leave not because you are unworthy, but because their part in your story has ended. Your comfort zone may crumble not to scare you, but to set you free. Everything that is happening is helping you rise. So let this be your reminder. You are not done becoming. There are still discoveries ahead. There are still miracles with your name on them. There are still versions of you that will leave you breathless with pride. You are still unfolding, layer by layer, into the fullness of who you truly are. Every sunrise says, try again. Every breath says, keep going. Every heartbeat says, you are meant to be here. Every moment says, you are becoming exactly who you are meant to be. Choose yourself again and again. Love yourself again and again. Evolve again and again. Because when you choose yourself and when you love who you are becoming, the entire universe chooses you back. And now, let us go even deeper. We have spoken about choosing yourself, loving your evolution, and the next step, my darling, is reclaiming your inner home. You do not need to search endlessly outside of yourself for validation or meaning or approval. You do not need to ask the world, am I good enough yet? Am I lovable yet? Am I worthy yet? Because the world can never give you something you refuse to give yourself. Value does not come from admiration. It does not arrive as applause. It is not delivered by someone else's opinion of you. Your worth is an inside job. It has lived in your heart since the moment your soul chose this body. Every time you seek meaning only through the eyes of others, you wander further away from your true self. But every time you turn inward to your breath, to your intuition, to your truth, you come home again. Your inner world is where peace begins. Your inner voice is where wisdom whispers. Your inner truth is where your strength sleeps until you awaken it. You might have forgotten this because life taught you to look outward. Teachers taught you to seek approval. Society taught you to compare. Loved ones taught you to adapt. Trauma taught you to protect. But beneath those layers, beneath the noise, beneath the armor, your essence remains untouched, pure, whole, radiant, waiting. When you return to yourself, you realize that you are not broken. You are simply buried under other people's expectations. And now, layer by layer, you are unburying your soul. I want you to imagine for a moment that you are sitting quietly in a room, alone, with no roles to perform and no audience to please. Who are you then? What do you love in that silence? What dreams arise when no one is judging them? What feelings show up when you stop hiding them? That version of you is the real you, and she is asking for your attention. She is asking to be heard. She is asking to lead. The journey of returning to yourself is not about becoming someone new. It is about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. You do not have to run from yourself anymore. You do not have to prove yourself anymore. You do not have to seek permission to be yourself anymore. When the outside world becomes overwhelming, and it will gently turn inward, place your hand over your heart. Feel that steady rhythm. That is life saying, "Here I am. Come home to me." Every heartbeat is an invitation back to your inner sanctuary, a place where love is constant, peace is possible, and clarity grows like sunlight through a window. When you live from that place, the world around you shifts. Your relationships become healthier, your decisions become clearer, your boundaries become stronger, and your life begins to reflect the beauty you have always carried inside. Now, let us speak about something empowering and simple: the pause. One tiny pause, one breath can change everything. We have been conditioned to react quickly, to answer instantly, to respond emotionally, to defend automatically. But reaction is the language of fear. Choice is the language of power. When you pause, you interrupt old patterns. You stop the cycle of overthinking, over-explaining, and over-giving that once exhausted your heart. You step out of autopilot and into awareness. Imagine someone presses your buttons. In the past, maybe you would rush to defend yourself, or to explain, or to please. But now, you pause, you breathe, you check in with your heart. Is this worth my peace? Most of the time, your heart will say no. And in that moment, that sacred moment, you reclaim your power. When you choose silence over chaos, you choose yourself. When you choose patience over reactivity, you choose wisdom. When you choose presence over panic, you choose peace. One breath can save you from 100 regrets. I invite you to practice this with me right now. Inhale slowly, feel your body expand. Hold it gently, feel your strength. Exhale softly, feel your release. Again, inhale peace, exhale pressure. Inhale clarity, exhale confusion. Inhale love, exhale fear. There, you just created space. You just created freedom. That tiny pause, that simple breath, it returned your power to you. The pause is not weakness, it is mastery. It is you saying, I control my responses. I choose my frequency. I protect my energy. Instead of letting the world pull you into its chaos, you remain rooted in your own calm. Instead of letting others define your emotions, you choose emotional sovereignty. Instead of reacting out of old wounds, you respond from your healed self. This is how peace becomes a lifestyle, not by running away from the world, but by refusing to let the world run your feelings. You may be surprised how quickly life transforms when you pause long enough to hear yourself. You stop agreeing to things that drain you. You stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You stop absorbing problems that are not yours to carry. You stop participating in chaos that does not belong in your life. You become selective with your attention, and your peace grows. You become mindful with your energy, and your joy returns. You become gentle with your heart, and your inner world blossoms. Take a moment to acknowledge how far you've already come. There were days you reacted from pain because you didn't know another way. There were moments you abandoned your truth because you were afraid to be alone. There were times you lost yourself in noise because silence felt too scary. And yet, here you are transforming, learning to pause, learning to observe without absorbing, learning to protect your heart without closing it. You are growing in the most beautiful way. Say this with me now, with grace in your voice. Every time I pause, I return to myself. Yes, that is the truth. The pause reconnects you with your power, your peace, your purpose. And please remember something important. Returning to yourself is not a one-time event. It is a daily devotion. Every morning you choose yourself again. Every breath you choose peace again. Every pause you choose freedom again. Healing is a practice. Self-love is a practice. Becoming yourself is a practice. And the fact that you keep practicing even on the days when it feels messy or slow is proof that you are winning. You are not losing yourself. You are losing only what no longer matches the truth of who you are becoming. You are not falling apart. You are falling into alignment. You are not ending. You are emerging. And the more you return to your inner world, the more your outer world will begin to reflect the peace you cultivate within. Let's finish this moment with one more breath together. Inhale, possibility. Exhale, limitation. And gently repeat, I choose me. I choose peace. I choose my inner truth. You are doing beautifully, darling. Continue. Keep returning. Keep pausing. Keep choosing yourself. Life is excited about the person you are becoming. You know, my darling, there is such a deep peace that arrives when we finally allow life to unfold without gripping so tightly to how we think things should be. The more we insist on controlling every detail, the more life feels like a battle. But the moment we release resistance, everything begins to flow again. You are not here to force outcomes. You are here to participate in a divine dance where your job is to show up, be present, and trust that the rhythm of life will always carry you where you are meant to go. There is extraordinary relief in recognizing you do not need to fix everything. You simply need to allow everything to be what it is. When you let go, you create space for miracles that control could never provide. Imagine standing on the shore of the ocean and trying to command the waves. Stop there, faster, slower. Come only when I am comfortable. The ocean doesn't listen to demands, yet its tides bring beauty, renewal, nourishment, and life. The same is true for the rhythm of your own journey. There will be waves of change, waves of endings, waves of uncertainty, waves of joy, each one serving a purpose in your becoming. You do not have to micromanage the sacred intelligence that guides you. In fact, when you stop trying to direct every wave, you finally get to float. You get to rest. You get to trust that what is happening is not happening to you, it is happening for you. Let me offer you a comforting truth. Life is always on your side. Even when you want something desperately and it does not come to pass, the delay is protection. The rejection is redirection. The unanswered prayer is preparation. You are not meant to struggle against the current. You are meant to relax into it. When you stop fighting, the water lifts you. Life brings you exactly where you need to be. Not always where you hoped, but always where you will grow. There is a guiding force that sees further than you can see and knows what you need long before you know it yourself. Surrender is not giving up. Surrender is trusting the wisdom of the path beneath your feet. You might ask, but how do I surrender? How do I let go? And the answer is simpler than you think. You breathe, you soften, you release the urgency. You return to the present moment again and again, because anxiety exists only in the future and fear exists only in the past, but peace is always here in your now. You do not need to solve tomorrow today. You do not need to rehearse every possible outcome. You do not need to prepare for tragedy that may never come. You simply choose the next gentle thought. I trust life. Life supports me. I am safe here. And then comes another gentle truth, one that heals more than any medicine: forgiveness. When we do not let go of the past continues to live within us. It shapes how we see the world. It shapes how we see ourselves. Many of us were taught a harmful misunderstanding that forgiveness is something we owe to others, even those who harmed us deeply. But forgiveness, my dear, is not a gift for them. Forgiveness is a gift for you. It is how you remove the chains that old pain wrapped around your heart. It is how you release the heavy memories that keep you anchored to suffering. It is how you breathe again. Holding on to resentment is like carrying a burning coal in your pocket. It only burns you. Holding on to hatred is like swallowing poison, hoping someone else will suffer from it. Holding on to old stories where you were wronged is like replaying a nightmare over and over and expecting to feel peace. You deserve more than that. You deserve the softness of your own compassion. You deserve to feel free in your own heart. You deserve to heal. Forgiveness does not mean what they did was right. It does not mean you must allow them back into your life. It does not mean you pretend it never happened. Forgiveness means you choose peace over bitterness. It means you choose to unburden yourself. It means you stop letting the past write the script for your future. It means you take your power back from the wound. When you forgive, you do not excuse the behavior you release, the emotional control it had over you. You become your own liberator. There may be parts of you that resist forgiveness, but they hurt me. They should apologize first. They don't deserve to be forgiven. And to that I say, perhaps they don't deserve it, but you do. You deserve relief. You deserve a heart unweighted by what others did or failed to do. You deserve to feel joy without hearing the echo of old pain. Forgiveness is not approval, it is acceptance. This happened. I survived. I choose to move forward. When you release the story, the wound loses its power. When you bless the past, the future opens. Let me guide you into a little healing moment right now. I invite you to close your eyes, if you can. Bring into your awareness someone who has caused you pain, someone you have been carrying for a long time. You don't have to like them. You don't have to see them. You don't have to speak to them again. Just imagine that the ropes connecting you to this memory are beginning to loosen. With a hand over your heart, whisper to yourself, I set myself free. Feel those words. Feel how they are not about forgetting, but about freeing your heart to live again. Self-forgiveness matters just as much, perhaps even more. We are often harsher with ourselves than with anyone else. We punish ourselves for mistakes we made while we were learning. We criticize choices we made when we didn't know any better. We blame ourselves for things that were never our fault to begin with. My love, there is nothing you have done that disqualifies you from love. There is nothing in your past that cannot be rewritten with compassion. You are worthy of your own forgiveness. So I ask you gently, what would happen if you decided to forgive yourself today? What would happen if you stopped reopening wounds with criticism? What would happen if you accepted that your mistakes were simply attempts to survive with the knowledge you had at the time? You are human, and being human means learning through imperfection. Every time you look back at your past with shame, you are forgetting the most important truth. You kept going, and that is something to honor. Let us try this together. I release the past. I thank it for the lessons. I set myself free. Feel the power of those words. You are not erasing your history. You are reclaiming your future. When you allow life to be what it is, and when you allow people to be who they are, and when you allow yourself to evolve beyond what you were, you create a new reality, a peaceful one, a liberated one, a truthful one. Your heart becomes lighter, your mind becomes clearer, your spirit rises. Forgiveness and surrender are not weaknesses, they are superpowers. They show the universe that you are ready for more love, more blessings, more joy. So whenever you feel tightness in your heart, or anger or the heavy pull of memory, pause and place your hand over your heart. Say it softly, but say it like a promise to your own liberation. I set myself free. You are freeing your present from the prison of the past. You are freeing your future from old fear. You are freeing your heart to love again. And oh, darling, a free heart heals everything it touches. My darling, I want you to imagine for a moment that you are holding a beautiful palette of colors, colors so vibrant and radiant that they could paint entire universes. In truth, you are that palette. You contain every shade of possibility within you. The deep blues of wisdom, the golds of joy, the soft pinks of tenderness, the fiery reds of passion, the greens of healing and growth. But somewhere along the way, you were taught to paint only in gray, to shrink the masterpiece that you are into something acceptable, something predictable, something small. You were told not to shine too brightly, not to speak too boldly, not to love too loudly, not to dream too expansively. And your spirit, so full of life, tried to comply. It tried to fit into a world that forgot how to celebrate difference. Yet even while pretending to be small, something inside you kept glowing, a quiet spark whispering, "There is more to me. There is more I want to express. There is more I am meant to be." That whisper is truth. That spark is your authenticity calling you home. You were never meant to be a watered-down version of yourself. You were never meant to dim your brilliance to comfort others. You were never meant to erase your dreams, to make space for the fears of those who couldn't see what you see. The world needs you, the real you. Your gift, your story, your creativity, your voice, your energy are all unique frequencies that no other human being will ever replicate again in the entire history of existence. That alone makes you miraculous. So, why hide your colors? Why silence your laughter? Why doubt your right to take up space? You deserve to be seen in full light. You deserve to be loved as your true self. You deserve to belong not by shrinking, but by being whole. Let today be the day you give yourself permission to expand again, to paint again, to glow again. My love, you deserve the brightest colors you carry. Let me ask you something tender. When did you begin to believe that joy had to be earned? When did you start thinking that happiness was a reward granted only after perfection? Joy is your birthright. It is built into your very essence. Unlike accomplishments, joy does not require proof. Joy does not demand permission. Joy is not waiting for your life to become flawless before it arrives. Joy is a choice, a brave one, especially on days where things feel messy or incomplete. You do not have to finish healing to smile. You do not have to solve every problem before you rest. You do not need to arrive at some mythical better version of yourself to feel proud of who you are in this moment. When you choose joy, you are choosing healing. When you choose joy, you are choosing life. When you choose joy, you are saying, I matter now, not later. If joy feels unfamiliar, that's okay. Sometimes the most powerful transformations begin with the smallest shifts. Make a gentle decision each day. One moment of joy just for you. It could be a walk outside where the air tastes like freedom. It could be dancing alone in your kitchen to a song that remembers what your heart forgot. It could be treating yourself to a soft blanket of rest without apologizing for needing it. It could be laughing at something silly without criticizing yourself for being childish. It could be speaking kindly to yourself for the first time in a long time. These tiny joys are not meaningless. They are seeds. And the more seeds you plant, the more happiness your life will grow. Whisper to yourself, good enough is good enough. Joy is allowed here. You are not waiting for a perfect life to live. You are learning to love the life that is already here. Sometimes we fear joy because we fear losing it. We think, what if this happiness doesn't last? But my dear, joy is not a destination, it is a companion. It walks with you through every chapter, even the difficult ones. When you allow yourself to feel joy even briefly, you remind your nervous system that safety still exists. You remind your soul that beauty is real. You remind your heart that love has not abandoned you. Joy does not deny your pain, it balances it. It recalibrates your energy so you can rise above survival and return to living. You deserve a life that delights you. You deserve mornings that feel like beginnings rather than battles. You deserve nights where you look back and say, I'm proud of how I showed up today. My love, you are worthy of joy simply because you exist. Now, let us step into the most sacred part of this journey, the return to yourself. So many people spend their lives searching for belonging in the eyes of others, seeking approval and applause, measuring their worth through productivity or praise. But belonging begins inside. Approval begins inside. Worthiness begins inside. You cannot lose who you are, but you can forget to look inward. When you stop chasing external validation, you finally hear the truth that has always been speaking. I am here. I am whole. I am already enough. There is a stillness within you where all answers rest, a soft center that has never been wounded, never been afraid, never been doubtful, even while the surface of your life felt chaotic. When you return to that inner sanctuary, you discover the part of you that remembers why you are here. You remember that you are more than your titles, achievements, relationships, or roles. You remember that your true identity is not what the world calls you, it is what your soul knows you to be. Love expressing itself, joy awakening itself, peace remembering itself. You see, losing yourself is never the real danger. The real danger is abandoning the deepest parts of you because the world told you they were too much or not enough. But it is never too late to come home. The journey back does not require grand gestures. It requires honesty. It requires listening. It requires choosing yourself again and again in big ways and small. You reclaim yourself each time you say, my needs matter, my feelings matter, my voice matters, my life matters. There is a beautiful return happening in you. You may not see it clearly yet, but your soul does. Every moment of self-awareness, every act of self-respect, every quiet boundary you honor is a step back toward wholeness. You are learning to treat yourself the way you always deserve to be treated, with tenderness, reverence, patience, and love. You are remembering the parts of you that once felt lost, the curious child, the daring dreamer, the hopeful believer. They are not gone. They have been waiting for you to slow down enough to notice them again. So, breathe and feel this truth. You are already home. You do not need to become more lovable. You need only allow yourself to feel the love that has always been here. You do not need to seek validation. You are already worthy. You do not need to ask permission. You belong exactly as you are. You do not need to rush. Your timing is perfect. You do not need to apologize for existing. You are life's sacred expression. I want you to place your hand gently over your heart and whisper these words with me, not as a hope, but as a declaration. Every day I come home to myself. Feel the courage in that. Feel the truth. Now say, I am safe to be who I truly am. Yes, you are. And finally, this is my time to rise. Because it is, you are rising into authenticity. You are rising into courage. You are rising into joy. You are rising into self-love. You are rising into the wonderful truth of who you have always been. There is nothing missing in you. There is nothing broken in you. There is nothing wrong with you. There is only you, and you are magnificent. Welcome back, my love. The world is better because you are here, and I am so grateful to witness your becoming. My love, as we come to this moment of completion, I want to gather all the wisdom we have explored and place it gently into your hands, like a bouquet of truths meant to nourish your heart whenever you forget who you are. You have spent so long thinking you were lost. You spent so long believing that something was wrong with you, that you were supposed to be someone else, someone different, someone more perfect. But all along, you were simply evolving. Every version of you that you once judged, the tired you, the afraid you, the uncertain you, was only a stage of transformation. Nothing about your becoming has ever been a mistake. You were peeling away what was not truly yours. You were releasing identities that were too small for your spirit. You were shedding beliefs that once kept you safe, but now keep you limited. Losing what isn't you is the very definition of finding yourself. That is healing. That is awakening. That is love. We have learned that you do not need to try so hard to be someone. You already are someone worthwhile, someone beautiful, someone deserving. You do not need to chase belonging in places that ask you to shrink. You do not need to earn joy by being productive or perfect. You do not need permission to rest, to shine, or to express your truth. You are allowed to evolve at your own pace. You are allowed to choose yourself every single day, and you are allowed to say no more to the roles and expectations that once stole your joy. Letting go of the false is not failure, it is freedom. You are not giving up. You are rising up. We have learned that joy is not a finish line. Joy is a companion. It walks with you through the mess and the magic. It softens your body, lifts your heart, and opens doors you could never force open with fear. Even when circumstances are not perfect, you can choose one small moment of joy, and that moment has the power to change the entire energy of your day. Joy is not a luxury. Joy is medicine. It is your reminder that your soul was designed for more than survival. It was designed for delight. We have learned that silence is powerful. In your stillness, you reconnect with the deepest truth of who you are. You hear the guidance that gets lost in noise. You allow clarity to rise from within. You give your soul a voice. When you slow down long enough to listen, you remember that your inner knowing has always been wiser than the fear inside your mind. You reclaim control not by forcing life, but by allowing life. The relentless need to control everything is a symptom of fear, and you no longer want fear to run your life. You want faith to lead. You want peace to protect you. You want love to choose the way. We have learned that your worth cannot be increased by praise or damaged by rejection. Your worth is not negotiable. It is not conditional. It is not fragile. You came into this world worthy, and you will leave it worthy. Everything in between is simply remembering. Even your most difficult chapters were preparing you to return home to yourself with more strength, more wisdom, more compassion, and more truth. Healing is not becoming a different person. It is becoming the person you were always meant to be before the world convinced you otherwise. And so, here are the truths I invite you to carry forward. You are the one you have been looking for. You are allowed to feel good about yourself. You are allowed to outgrow people and places that cannot hold your growth. You are allowed to take up space in your own life. You are allowed to love yourself loudly. You are allowed to rise. If ever you forget, place your hand on your heart. Feel the warmth. Feel the pulse. Feel the life. That is your reminder. You are here. You matter. You are loved. The world needs the full expression of your true self, not the muted version, not the edited version, not the version shaped by fear. The world needs you bold, kind, authentic, whole. Now, let us seal these teachings with one final loving declaration. Close your eyes if you can. Breathe deeply and softly repeat after me. Every day I come home to myself. I am safe to be who I truly am. This is my time to rise. Feel how these words feel like truth in your body. Feel how your cells relax when you remember who you are. Feel how your heart expands when you choose self-love over self-doubt. My darling, I want to leave you with a blessing for your path, your becoming, and your beautiful return. May you continue to release what no longer belongs in your story. May you always choose the voice of love over the voice of fear. May joy become the rhythm of your days and the comfort of your nights. May clarity find you whenever you feel unsure. May peace meet you before anxiety does. May your confidence grow stronger than the doubts that once held you back. May your soul feel at home in your body. And may you always remember you are whole, you are worthy, and you are wonderfully you. Everything you are seeking is already inside you. Everything you desire is already finding its way to you. Everything you thought you lost is returning in a truer, more beautiful form. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not lost. You are becoming, and you are becoming brilliantly. Life loves you. I love you. And the best of you is just beginning to rise.